Okay, thank you to our lecturer, so Sir Azwandi, as a cross-cultural understanding lecture. Forgive me this opportunity to presentation excitement about what is different response about linguistic complement and Indonesian complement. But before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Eli Apryani Hutauruk, and with NPM A1B021032. If we talk about what is different response about English in complement and Indonesian complement, it refers to social linguistics. What is social linguistics? Next, social linguistics, according to Holmes, 1992, social linguistics is the study of language in relation to society. Social linguistics are interested in language variation occurring in society. They seek to explain why people speak differently in different social contexts and try to identify the social function of language and the ways it is used to convey social meaning. Next, complementing is a language function often used to encourage or reinforce desired behavior. A compliment is often given to a person who has appearance or who shows performance pleasing the complimenter. Thus, a compliment is likely to be given to a person who is wearing a nice looking dress or a has done a good job. Next, Herbert 1990 in this study of both groups of speakers above employed 12 types of compliment responses, which can be listened as follows. There are appreciation tokens. This refers to the acceptance of the compliments. Example, thanks or thank you. And common acceptance. Here the addressee accept to complimentary quotes and offers a comment related to the topic. Example, yeah, it's my favorite too. Then there are praise upgrades. Here the address accepts to compliment, but states that the complimentary food is not adequate. Example, really brings out the blue in my eyes, doesn't it? Then there are common history. This type is flag number two, common acceptance. However, the difference is that the comments here are impersonal, accepting the force of the compliment from the addresses. Example, I bought it for the trip to Arizona. Three is sign. Here, the address accepts to compliment but transfers the commentary force to the third person. Example, my brother gave it to me to the object, the object itself. Next, written. Like in number five, the address here agrees with the complement assertion, but returns the complementary force to the speaker. Example, so then scale down. The addresses here doesn't with the complement pointing some flaws in the object complemented or stating that the phrase is an overstatement. Example, It's really quite old. Then there are questions. The addresses here question the sin- sincerity or the appropriateness of the complement example. Do you really think so? Then there are the disagreement. The address here claims that the object is not worth complementing. Example, I had it. Then there are qualifications. Like in number 9, the address here also shows disagreement, but it is in that recipe the addressor claims using to, but well, it's etc. Example, it's alright, but lens is nicer. Then there are no acknowledgement. Here, the address seems unaware of the compliment and response by giving either an irrelevant response or no response. Then there are request interpretations. Here, the deliberately or not interprets the speech act not as a compliment but rather as a request. Example, you wanna borrow this one too? Next, data analysis. In analyzing the data, the writers used the modified version of Herbert's 1989 12 types of complement responses, which consist of appreciation pattern, common acceptance, praise upgrade, common history, re-excitement, return, scale down, criticism, disagreement, qualification, no acknowledgement, and request interpretation. Utterance which do not fit Herbert's categories will be categorized according to the nature of the data. The analysis is done by taking an utterance and then put it into categories according to Herbert's categories. The example are as follows. Indonesian data analyst. Terima kasih Pak. Appreciation token. Thank you, sir. Keberhasilan saya ini juga berkat dukungan Bapak. Re-excitement. My success is due to your encouragement. The first sentence of this utterance expresses gratitude that there is what it is categorized into a precision. Second sentence shows that the address chief complements to the address. Therefore, the utterance falls into the category of re-excitement. Therefore, it is categorized into type re-excitement. Next, the analysis of the data is based on the table of comparison between Indonesian and English respondents on the type of complement responses and their frequency. The table serves three functions. First, it shows types of complement responses used by Indonesian and English respondents. Second, it reveals the frequency of each type. And three, it points out the types of complement responses are used by Indonesian subordinates and superiors and English subordinates and superiors. Next, appreciation token. the English respondents express gratitude, such as "Thank you very much, sir," more often than the Indonesians. An example of the Indonesian respondents using this type is "Terima kasih, Pak," or then common acceptance. An example of this type is "Saya mencoba menerapkan semua saran Bapak dan syukurlah bisa mencapai target penjualan." Or "I have tried to put your suggestion into practice for not for not for not today for not tonight. I could reach the sales target." While an example of the English respondents is "I'm glad it works well." This type of complement response occur three, three, four times among Indonesian and only 19 times among English phrase upgrade. One example of English respondents is I worked hard for it, but I was very pleased the way the figure came. And one Indonesian respondent said, "Bapak atau Ibu harus percaya bahwa saya tahu bagaimana tampil di setiap kesempatan. You have to believe that I know how to dress on every occasion." Among Indonesians, praise upgrade occur once among subordinates. Then there are re-excitement. Indonesian respondents use re-excitement almost three times as many as their English counterparts. One of the Indonesian respondents used this type by saying, "Keberhasilan ini juga berkat dorongan Bapak. This success is also due to your encouragement." While one of American or English said, "But the rest of the team also helped me." Next, return. In returning compliments, Indonesian and English had almost the same occurrence. One such example said by an Indonesian respondent is, "Bapak or Ibu juga kelihatan hebat malam ini. You also look great tonight, sir or ma'am." While an English used this type by, "But you look great too." Then scale down. In scale down, it was the Indonesian respondents dominating its use. They used it more than the English respondents. An example of this type said by an Indonesian said, "Saya hanya memenuhi tanggung jawab saya. I only try to do my duty." And there is only one used by English, that is, "Well, I didn't know about that." Then there is question. An example of this type used by the Indonesian is "Ah masak," or "Oh really?" And an example said by the English is "Oh really?" "Oh really?" In this type, the Indonesian respondents use it more than the English respondents, and it is mostly done by superiors. Indonesian and Americans are in English. Then there are no acknowledgement. An Indonesian example of this type is, "Ya nggak lucu dong kalau saya pakai jas." Or, "Well, I would look out in a suit." While an American or English example is, I think it's good to relax sometimes." This type of compliment response is used by both Indonesian and English superiors only. No subordinates use it. Next, promise. This type is not the type introduced by Herbert. It is a type for the utterance that doesn't make Herbert categorize. In this type, the addressee makes a promise to do better than what he or she has done, such as, "Lain saya akan lebih meningkatkan prestasi saya lagi." "I will improve my achievement next time." This type occurs nine times among Indonesian subordinates only. It may indicate that lower status people give promises because their plate demands in from them. Next, lastly, there are hope. This part doesn't belong to Harvard categories. Um, in this type, the addresses expect the things to work well, such as saya harap kalian bisa bekerja sama dengan baik, or I hope you can get along well. It is used by the Indonesian superiors only 9 times. Next, then here I have conclusion. My conclusion is the research findings show that the English and Indonesian respondents have different and similar ways of expressing responses to compliments. The difference may be due to the different cultural backgrounds, even though there are many similarities. The frequencies of each type can give us a clear insight on the roles of those different cultural backgrounds. Both that English and Indonesian respondents use 10 types of complement responses, 8 of which are based on Herbert's categorized. The others are used by the Indonesian respondents, re-assignment, return, scale down, precision, and no acknowledgement. The other two are promise and hope. Of all these types, the respondents mostly use appreciation tokens. The high frequency of appreciation token, such as thank you or terima kasih, may happen because it is considered the most appropriate response, even when the addressee doesn't know how to respond to a compliment text. Thank you can become a simple response. Moreover, by comparison, the English respondents had a higher frequency than the Indonesian. The second highest frequency of compliment responses is common acceptance. However, the Indonesian respondents here use it more than the English. This also happened to recitement and scale down, which are dominated by them Indonesian respondents. Okay, sir, and all my friends who watch my presentation. That's all my presentation. If there are mistakes from words that I say, I'm sorry and forgive me. Um, Leslie, I say thank you very much.